What is up, Cowboy Nation? Y'all better be so excited because this episode is all about y'all. Here we go. As you guys can tell, the time. What, Reed? What? You always got something to
continue.
Thank you. I will continue. We're talking about Amari Cooper, okay? And let me tell y'all this. This video originally was not going to be about Amari Cooper and the Dallas Cowboys, potentially releasing him or could lead up to a trade. It wasn't going to be that, okay? We're going to talk about free agents and franchise tagging because the franchise deadline is tomorrow, 4 p.m. So y'all stay tuned for that, okay? Because we're going to give you guys some live updates. But throughout the week, AJ, Armando, I got like 8 different names. El Gallo, El Chingon, hey, they're like, dude, why the heck? Or did you hear about the Cowboys wanting to trade Amari Cooper? And I was like, well, first of all, yeah, I've heard about it. I was in the meeting room with Jerry Jones, man. That's what I do for a living. And they're like, why would they do that? That is so dumb. And I told them this. I said my initial thought of the Cowboys wanting to release Amari Cooper, I said, yes, please do it. Because I know that's not good for the Cowboys. Right. So I was like, okay, let me do some investigations work due to Batman coming out, investigator. I'm the best investigator out there. I do some investigations work, and I realized that it's kind of a no-brainer for the Cowboys to do something like this. You see, the original thought was, okay, Cowboys, they part ways with Amari Cooper for who knows what, probably too much money due. But then you look at CD Lamb. He's not going to have the same production year. It could be a repeat of Juju Smith-Schuster whenever they lost Antonio Brown. It could be too much of a load. They got 12 star free agents that are free agents. But y'all need to stop texting right here behind the screen. I'm looking backwards now. I think there's someone behind me. They're saying I got a ghost behind me. But that's not the case. Y'all need to stop. But yeah, so I'm thinking CeeDee Lamb's not going to have a great year because, Amari Cooper took the load off of him, made him become a star. They corresponded together very well as far as gameplay. But you look into the details of Amari Cooper and the Cowboys. The Cowboys, as of a couple of hours ago, they were projected to be around 26 mil over the cap. Can I show y'all's comments?
No, you can't.
Hey, mine are just fine. I don't know, but
can I show y'all's comments? I don't think I can. I'm trying. I can't. I wish I could show you guys the comments that these guys are sending me privately through this stream. It is very unprofessional and, say none the least, very dirty.
You're just talking about the Cowboys too much right now.
Dude, the Cowboys, there's so much to talk about. And it is so interesting to talk about the Cowboys because, honestly, I told you guys for about a good 3 hours just today, legit 3 hours, I was like doing some hardcore research. They're cap space, their position in the draft, the college kids that are coming into the draft that they could potentially land if they release Amari Cooper, if they trade Amari Cooper, what they can get, what they're holding on to. This is really exciting stuff. I get all geeked out for this kind of things. But right off the bat, would you guys want to see Amari Cooper out of Dallas? Is it free Amari Cooper or keep him to go to the bowl?
Free that guy, bro.
Okay, Reed?
I think they're gonna free him because.
No, what do you want?
Doesn't matter to me. I don't see us landing Amari, so
it's supposed to matter, Reed. I don't see Amari Cooper going to the Niners, but you know what? it's about the NFL. It's about different teams. I'm excited to see this person, Amari Cooper, do on another team, maybe with a better quarterback, or I don't know. I think he's a stud. He was a stud in Oakland, and now he's a stud. He was a stud in Dallas. But why do? Yeah, was I guess.
What if he goes back?
What if he goes back to Dallas?
No, to Oakland.
To Oakland. Why would he do that?
Why not?
Well, I guess he doesn't have a choice, correct? Yeah, he doesn't have a choice if they do decide to trade him. I don't believe he has a no trade clause.
No, there's only like 10 people in the NFL who have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But why, Vince, would you want to see Amari Cooper out of Dallas?
He gets to, well, in my opinion, I think he was doing a lot for Dallas in the beginning, and then they kind of lost track of him. Like, he was their number one guy. You know, CeeDee Lamb was, of course, going to take the torch sooner or later. But once CeeDee Lamb and their tight end, his name is slipping my mind right now, Dalton Schultz. Once they started getting it kicking, Amari Cooper, with his little injuries here and there, just like kind of exited the Cowboys offense. And of course, the Cowboys took a turmoil after that point. They couldn't get anything going. Running game wasn't going. You know, CeeDee Lamb was getting covered. Sometimes he was the only guy that was getting catches and stuff. And Dalton Schultz I believe he got hurt for a little while as well. But that offense just took a turn for the worst once Amari Cooper left. And of course, with all the money that he's due, because they gave him such a huge contract without even knowing how he was going to do in Dallas, they're realizing like, hey, we can get something cheaper, something better. We're already going to lose a bunch from the defense and the offense in general. So we might as well cut this guy as well and see what we can get in the draft. I mean, they did a great job this past time drafting defensive players, and one of them hit with Parsons. So, I mean, why not trust the draft again? They got some decent wide receivers coming in, some fast wide receivers, of course, as well. So, I don't know. I think they're looking towards the future. This was probably one of their best years to make it to the Super Bowl, and they didn't. And it's time to reorganize. And I think Jerry Jones is finally seeing that.
Yeah, you definitely saw a bit of a struggle whenever Amari Cooper was on the field, or really when you had to rely on CeeDee Lamb to be the main and only guy. I know a lot of Cowboys fans like, what? What does he say? He has no idea what he's talking about. But really, when you think about it, we look at it, CeeDee Lamb, he's an incredible player. He makes outstanding plays, great route running, great catches. But when he has to be the guy, because he's the only guy out there, he does tend to struggle a little bit. You saw that 2 games out of the season when Amari Cooper missed out. He only played 15 games this season. And Schultz got injured as well for a little bit. Michael Gallup tore his ACL towards the end of the season. So that was huge. Okay, so let's get numbers here. Cowboys, they're ranked 30th in cap space. They're approximately 26 mil over the cap. Okay, so that's horrible. That's really bad. Now let's get into Cooper. This is why it's so important to what they do with Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper, they signed him, I believe it was like 5 years, 100 million out there. But in that contract, after 2 seasons, they could waive their rights. They could release him. They could do whatever they want with them. Now, 2 seasons have passed by, and now we see that they could actually let him go. So if they let him go, because this year he is due 20 mil from the Cowboys, if they let him go, the Cowboys, I got it right here. The Cowboys would have to pay him 6 million and not 22, what they're supposed to, and would save 14 million against the cap. Now that's huge because they got some key free agents, like Randy Gregory, that defensive end. He really stood out this year, so he's gonna get paid. Randy Gregory, Dalton Schultz, like we're just talking about, Leighton Vander Esch, the Cowboy legend. I don't know if you want to call him a legend, but I think he's a legend of my lifetime. And then you got J-Ron Curse. J-Ron Curse was very interesting to me because he was kind of like a prove it deal year. They gave him a 1-year contract to see what he can do. And honestly, he was probably one of the most improved Cowboys of the season if it wasn't for, Dak Prescott coming back and whatnot. What was that?
Reed was sneezing. I was saying, bless you.
Oh, okay. Reed, we talked about this. You can't sneeze live on air.
I apologize. I muted myself.
Okay. All right. Okay. So the Cowboys could potentially save 14 mil against the cap this year. Okay. And owe Amari Cooper 6 mil if they decide to release him. Now let's look at projected caps for these free agents I just mentioned. So you got Randy Gregory, the defensive end. More than likely, someone's going to sign him to a 2-year contract, 25 mil, about 12.5 mil a year. Okay. So that could already cover one guy. But you want to get the most out of your money. So I'm talking about Curse. Jaron Curse projected to get 3-year contract, 19.5 mil, projected 6.5 mil a year. And then you could bring back Van Der Esch, the guy who's helped you guys so much, and let him finish off his career there in Dallas with a 3-year contract, 25.5 mil, and giving him about 8.5 mil a year. That covers it. Right there. I mean, not entirely true, but it helps you out to the point where you could sign a 2-for-1 deal instead of keeping a guy Amari Cooper, and he's getting paid wide receiver 1 money. He's not playing like he's a wide receiver 1. It's obvious that CD Lamb is wide receiver 1. Do you guys know the stats compared to those two?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay, they're very similar. And remember, Amari Cooper, he did only play 15 games. So out of receptions, Cooper, Lamb, one of them got 68 and the other one got 79 receptions. Can y'all tell me which one's who?
CD got 79.
Yeah, CD got 79. Cooper got 68. Okay difference. Yards, Lamb got over 1,000 yards. Cooper got just over 850. 8 touchdowns for Cooper, 6 touchdowns for CD. CD Lamb even had 9 rush attempts. So CD's kind of like a do-it-all guy, kind of like I love to say it, Deebo Samuel type of person. But CD is obvious the wide receiver 1 now. So you got to pay CD Lamb sometime, right? So what do? You release Amari Cooper, you get a top wide receiver free agent, or do you wait in the draft and spent your draft pick? I got it right here. The Cowboys got the 24th overall draft pick on a wide receiver, probably a damn good one as well. But there's a lot more things you need to address in that team. What's going on, Father? I see. So what do y'all rather do? If you're the Cowboys, let's say you release Amari Cooper, right? Do you sign some of the free agents that you're losing? Do you sign a top wide receiver free agent, or do you rely on the draft? And let me put this out there: they are closing in on a deal with Michael Gallup, even though he just tore his ACL towards the end of the season. It is reported that they're closing in on a deal with him. Hopefully, it's a team-friendly deal, but if not, you have that, because if they release Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb doesn't have anyone else, because their only other wide receiver, Cedric Wilson, is also a free agent. So take it away, boys.
I've always been a fan of bringing players back and building through the draft if you can do it right. As far as what the Cowboys will do, I'm not too sure. They're definitely going to get rid of Amari no matter what. He's just not playing as a wide receiver 1 to keep him. But I mean, I would imagine, I don't see them assigning a top wide receiver a free agent this year. So I'm going to have to say they'll build through the draft. Maybe not even, they might not even spend a first round pick on wide receiver. You might see a second or third. You can find good guys out there in the second and third round.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Vince?
So I just pulled up the contracts that we have here for the Cowboys. Of course, Dak, DeMarcus Lawrence, Ezekiel Elliott, and the entire freaking line. They have contracts pretty much going through 2023 all the way to 2027. Everybody's is different. But the biggest one they have is Dak, DeMarcus Lawrence, and Ezekiel Elliott, along with Tyron Smith. If they're cutting Amari Cooper, that's their third highest contract that they're going to cut. So they'll be saving as much money as AJ just mentioned. I think they kind of have to do what the Packers did. They have to restructure those big guys as much as they can, move some cap to later years, since the cap will probably be going up again in the next year, just like it did this year. But I think that's their best bet if they want to bring back players. I personally don't think they should bring back every single player. but they should bring back their defensive guys. And this, since they already made last draft all defense, like we're going defense, that's it. That's what we're going to get. Move this one to offense. Get those key players that you got. If you have to, move up in the draft for some of those guys that are going to be the best players in the NFL someday. And I mean, just use your capital that you have right now. Restructure some contracts. Use your capital. Get those playmakers that you need to help out CeeDee Lamb, and maybe even someone behind Ezekiel Elliott and Pollard who can be their catching back or something. Because right now, Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott are that double-headed monster. Let's see if we can get someone else who's a catching back who can change up their offense a little bit as well. So they're not so focused on Zeke and Pollard just running it down the gut or on like a little B gap run. So that's what I think they should do. I think restructuring is the way to go. Don't put yourself in the same predicament as the Packers did, where they had over I believe it's 50 or 60 million over the cap, Reed, if I'm not mistaken.
This year?
Yeah.
We're 50 million.
Yeah. Okay. Where, yeah. So they had to do a bunch of restructuring. Don't do it to where you get yourself in that predicament as well, but do it to where you can move around some money, bring some of those guys back who want to play for the Cowboys. And that's about it. I think cutting Amari Cooper is a smart idea since he's not producing, just as AJ mentioned his stats. And Pete, right now, Cooper could play like wide receiver one if they used him properly. I believe that as well, because I don't think that Mike McCarthy was using him to the best of his ability. I think the Raiders used him pretty freaking well when he was on the Raiders, but he didn't have that much help around him. And he is a little bit older now. So it's just he's aging. And the Cowboys were mostly a run-first offense when he was coming in.
Ah, nice. Well, he said there, Vince. And I got to commend the Packers. I just looked at updated the cap space, and they're only 30.5 mil over the cap now. They've done a lot, and yes, it is 30.5 mil over the cap. Reed there. I see you looking around, pretty confused. But yeah, going back to what my dad says keep Cooper and release Zeke. No one's going to want Zeke's contract for the way he's producing. It's probably going to be really tough to get rid of him. And I don't think if you're the Cowboys, you release him because, I mean, he does decently well. And if you could fit him in your cap space, you want to keep him there. Pete says Cooper could play like a wide receiver one if they use him properly. I don't think is that the wide receiver one is the whole problem for Amari Cooper. I think it's his age and how much money he is going to get, because CeeDee Lamb plays like a wide receiver one. And there's not going to be any point to keeping Amari Cooper and then also paying CD wide receiver one money. Then you're going to put yourself in a deeper hole because you already got a wide receiver one. Save some money. I'm not saying that you guys could go out there free agency and get someone like an Allen Robinson, because that is just he's going to be asking for some big boy money too. He's a little up there in age. You go out there and you could actually look at the draft, like Vince and I were saying earlier. Let me give you guys a scenario, because like I said before, there's a lot of key positions with this free agency with Cowboys free agents that they need to fill out in their draft. They got the 24th overall pick, and these are some wide receivers that they can get. Okay, bear with me. These guys can fall to 24. Number one, Jameson Williams, wide receiver one from Alabama, the freaking stud. He's awesome. He was projected to go early in the first round, but he did tear his ACL in the championship game. So I could see him potentially being around that area. You also got Treylon Burks, the wide receiver from Arkansas, the guy who I was talking about this past week. He's 6'3" and wears a 4XL size gloves. That's stupid. That is insane. And they use that guy. He's like a little Debo, man. And I can't say little because that guy is huge. He's awesome. Great wide receiver talent. I think he'll be in there in that area. And also Chris, I'm going to butcher this name. Olavis, I think you say. It's a good route runner, wide receiver, great speed, great overall athlete. So you got those guys, right, as a wide receiver. And also in this area, this one might be a little far of a reach, maybe a big reach, but I'm talking about defensive tackle Jordan Davis, guy from Georgia. He is described as Godzilla of men. Okay, Trust me, I've seen this guy. I saw him playing against Michigan. This guy is huge, fast, just an all-natural athlete. And then his teammate is going to be there around the same area. I'm talking about Trayvon Walker, Georgia. He's explosive, tons of speed, and honestly, he looks like a giant, like an XL-sized linebacker. That guy is just a stud. But yeah, who would you guys rather go with? If you're the Cowboys, you have to pick a position: wide receiver, a stud, or defensive tackle stud. Who are you guys going with there?
I'll go first, and first of all, I'm going to correct AJ. We're 26 million over the cap, so you are wrong. And I'm going to go with defensive linemen. They have great defensive players, and you want to complement those guys to further make your defense stronger. Offensive guys, you can find them later in the draft. I think they already have a great offensive players. I don't think they need to spend too many more picks on that area.
Good job, Reed. You should applaud yourself for that one. Go ahead, Vince.
Yeah, I think why Reed was correcting you ages because of the $5 million that we just got.
No, that's not even with the $5 million.
Then how can we get to correct yourself there?
We're currently, without that $5 million, 26 million over.
So then you're 21 now.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I think it went from 30 to 26. So I think that's what the $5 million came from. But anyways, I don't want to argue about that. But anyways, I think they should go with an offensive player if they sign Gregory back to a deal. If they cut Amari and they sign Gregory back to a deal, I think they should go offense. If they don't get a deal with Gregory and bring back some of those defensive players, you're obviously going to go defense again. Get someone with who's very good from Georgia. Either of those guys, Walker or Davis, right? If I'm not mistaken, it's Mr. Speed himself. I think he ran a 4.8 at 365 pounds. Oh my Lord! Imagine that guy coming at you. I just fall to the ground, honestly. But anyways, yeah, I think it just depends on what they do right now before the draft. But we have Pete De La Pena here. He said, I love Cooper, but keeping defense is my top priority. I personally would like to buff up the O-line in the draft. Well, I don't know about buffing up the O-line, dude. You got one of the best O-lines still in football, but they were banged up this year. I'm not going to lie about that. But, yeah, I agree. Defense is a top priority. I believe that's how y'all really dominated some of the teams here in the NFL this past year and surprised a lot of people, including some of us. So, yeah, I think defense is the top priority, just as Pete has just said. But AJ's running through his notes over here.
I just saw something that I will like so very much. And I think this would be probably one of the best moves for the Cowboys, right? The Cowboys, here we go. You release Amari Cooper, right? He's gone. You save some, you restructure some contracts, you get some cap back. With some of that money, you're able to sign back Randy Gregory and Leighton Vander Esch. Okay, you part ways with Schultz because that's going to be a huge contract. I love the guy, but there's a couple of good tight ends out there. You could maybe draft one. You could develop one. Okay, so Gregory, defensive end, who had an awesome year. Get Vander Esch, let him retire there in Dallas, and you take care of that cap. In the draft, you get someone like Trayvon Walker or Jordan Davis if you're lucky enough that he's there. Because those defensive guys in free agency, that was the key to having I'm losing him, the rookie Parsons, Micah Parsons, for how successful he was. It's because of how good that defense was to complement him. And then in free agency, you target someone young, someone like in the name of DJ Chark.
Ooh.
That's not going to be expensive. He is not going to be expensive. He's coming off an injury, and that guy's a stud. He's never had a real quarterback before. Now, if you put him there in that offense with CeeDee Lamb, those two will complement each other, and you just let your defense do all the work. Okay? Now you rely on your quarterback, which is why he's getting paid, and you rely on your running back, which is why he's getting paid to do that as well. That, I think, would be an ideal situation for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm getting excited just by thinking about it. I'm not even a Cowboy fan, but I think that would be phenomenal for them.
I would agree. And they also got that guy coming back from the ACL injury. His name is slipping my mind as well. So I don't know if he's a free agent or not.
Michael Gallup?
Yeah, Gallup.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
Oh, he is? Okay, never mind. They don't got him then.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, signing someone like DJ Chark, someone who's a low-level guy who actually produces, even on a team called the Jaguars. But yeah, I think that's a great inside look there, AJ. Great.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I do take some time and I do research this kind of stuff. I don't look it up right here, right now. But that's enough about the Cowboys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let's get into a little bit of news that happened today and news that might just happen tomorrow. We got Calvin Ridley, the wide receiver who took some time off to clear his head, family issues, regain some personal health. He got caught. Actually, he did not get caught. He came in, reported himself for gambling. What are you pointing at?
I'm waiting for it.
He reported himself. Oh my gosh. I spent so much time working on these things that I don't even use them. Here we go. Which is the right one? Uh, there we go. I dang it. I'm so disappointed. I worked so hard. Here's the Cooper one. You guys want to see that one? But yeah, here's the Calvin Ridley. Shame on me. I get too excited about this kind of stuff. But yeah, Calvin Ridley, he got caught gambling on football games, saying that he's betting on who he's gonna win, who he thinks is gonna lose. And it was reported that he did bet on the Falcons. They did not report if he betted with or against them, but that's kind of unfair because clearly he has to have some type of insider of what's there. I don't know what. He has some type of an advantage, but he reported himself in. John Gruden, is that his first name?
John Gruden,
What am I saying?
the Raiders head coach, old Raiders head coach.
I'm lost here. Commissioner Goodell. Commissioner
Yes.
Goodell
Okay.
says he commends Ridley for being honest and basically turning himself in and whatnot. So maybe we could see him coming back in 2 years, but next year he is out for the season indefinitely. Any thoughts on there?
What a guy. Hey man,
I'm super bummed about it. He's a great young star that, in my opinion, has a chance to be a top 5 receiver in this league if he's healthy and he's on the field. In my opinion, the guy has true talent. But my main question for you guys: what are your thoughts on how long his suspension was for? And keep in mind, I completely agree what he did was wrong, but I believe what was his name, Kareem Hunt, got 8 games for kicking a woman.
Right. So I was watching it, and yeah, it seems kind of extensive, but that's the real punishment that needs to be happening. And I think the NFL sees that, and unfortunately, it's happening to Calvin Ridley, but they are making an example out of him and setting the tone, showing that the NFL means business. They're not going to mess around anymore. Those are my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that some other players should get heftier fines, more than Ridley did, especially Kareem Hunt and what he did. But I think that Calvin Ridley is really not taking a beating here because he's only dealing with the NFL. He's not dealing with anybody like lawful issues. Because I remember there were a couple of players in the past who had been caught with insider trading and they get banned from the NFL. They get fined by the NFL. They get fined by a lawful lawsuit because of insider trading. You can't do that. And they also get judged with jail time, with possible jail time. So I think Calvin really is not taking a beating here. It does suck that we're not going to see him for a year. But I do agree with AJ. I think they needed to make an example out of someone, even though he came up on his own accord and he said, I did this. What's going to be my punishment? I'm sorry. I'm just letting y'all know so nothing worse happens and then I get possible jail time because of it. So I think he did the right thing, but sometimes when you do the right thing, you don't get what you want, and you still get punished.
Yeah, just the way it is right now. But I feel like it needed to happen. Hopefully, this does set the tone for the NFL, and they don't, let people like Kareem Hunt and others. I usually call thugs when I'm watching the game. Just be let go with these acts.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, hopefully we see him on the field again. I do believe he, potentially a good person. From what I heard off the field, he's decent. Uh, so as a fantasy standpoint, I'm kind of like, another year.
Mm-hmm.
But wish him and his family the best and his mental wellness. Yeah. Uh, we should close off this podcast with saying we're giving thanks to a person named Jack Doyle, who just retired, tight end for the Indianapolis Colts. Had a long career, helped me out years
9 years.
ago. What?
Oh, I thought you were talking about how long.
Oh no. I was just saying, like, a few years ago, back when he was in his
Oh,
prime, he helped me out a lot in fantasy football. He was the type of guy who, would always secure at least 6 points. And you know me, I like consistency, and that guy was consistent when it came to it. But yeah. Any thoughts there?
good solid tight end in the league. Played great for the Colts. All 9 years were with the Colts, so good franchise guy. Nothing but respect for him.
Yeah, man, he played for some of the great quarterbacks that went through there. He played there just for a little bit with Peyton Manning.
Mhm.
Then he played with Andrew Luck, and I mean, this past year, I don't know if he played with a great quarterback, but
Hey,
I played with
great
Carson Wentz. Something cool. I mean, he played for three quarterbacks. He had a stellar uh, career
Philip
there.
Rivers. Philip Rivers.
Oh, Philip Rivers, yeah, well, for
Yeah.
1 year, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Sometimes you forget about that. He's
Yeah.
so enshrined with the Chargers. You're just like,
Yeah.
but yeah, that too. I mean, he played for some great guys, played with some great guys on the offensive side as well. So, I mean, kudos to him. We always do a clap for the people that retired. So I clapped this guy out. He had a great career. Good luck to you on whatever endeavors you have next.
Yeah. All right, Reed, you close us out and letting the viewers know what to look out for tomorrow.
So tomorrow is all franchise. If you want to franchise tag anybody on your team, tomorrow deadline 4 p.m. I believe. And that's the time to do it. Expect for last minute tags. It always happens every year. People get tagged last minute, so expect it to happen. As far as the Packers, we'll see if we franchise tag Devontae Adams. The Packers have threatened to use it. But in order for us to use it, we have to clear $46 million in cap space in order to do it. Because we first have to get under the cap by 20 million to tag him. So if we somehow do it, that'll be the most wildest 24 hours we have here, but we'll see. And there's potential Aaron Rodgers news. It's Aaron Rodgers Tuesday tomorrow. He may go on the Pat McAfee show, maybe not. And if he does, who knows if he even talk about his decision. So that's what you get to look forward to tomorrow. The clock is ticking.
Yes, it is.
I guess it's safe to say that no one in the Packers organization or the offices are going home tonight, huh?
Maybe not. We'll see.
A
Probably
lot to
calling
look forward
Rodgers.
to.
Hey, how you doing, man? You got a decision? Because we can't get under that cap without a Rodgers restructure. Do you guys know what his cap hit is this next year?
It's like 30.
I think it's higher than that. It's like 44, 45,
46 million.
46. Okay.
Jeez.
So even if he gets traded, we're gonna have to move it, restructure his contract, because there's no I don't think there's really a team that's just ready to get hit with a $46 million contract.
Probably not.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah. But we'll see what happens.
Well, it's going to be an exciting 24 hours, hopefully. We'll see what other teams franchise tag their players.
Mm-hmm.
See who gets undercut and who gets cut.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fun. I just feel like there's just so much to talk about, you guys. I wish we had more time, but unfortunately we don't. Damn, Smokey, says Pete. Yeah, a lot to look forward to. I actually had a lot of fun talking about the Cowboys today. Hope you guys did too. Hope you guys had a good time listening to us. If you guys did not get to catch us earlier on the show, we have our videos on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. We're on Spotify if you listen to traditional podcast. And yeah, until then, I wanted to show something, but I don't think I've got enough time. But I'll show you guys
Was
real
it
quick.
good? Was it good?
It's just about Von Miller saying that he wants to go back to Denver. How big can that be for them? He knows they're going to be a championship team. Sorry, Vince. He knows they're going to be a championship team next year, especially if they get an All-American QB, maybe Aaron Rodgers, maybe a Deshaun Watson, but we don't know. But he wants to go back home. Guys, let the man go back home. All right, and until then, keep on grinding, you guys. Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you guys next Monday, 6 o'clock. Don't miss out.